Hello and welcome back to ROADTRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode, day number 257 of the 365-day trivia road trip. Today, like every day, we have 21 random knowledge trivia questions, 20 up front, a question 21 tiebreaker at the end of the episode, and even though today's theme is Night at the Movies, there will be no Harry Potter questions on today's quiz. Sorry. But good luck on the questions we do have. Number 1. His main rival for many years was the steel industry's Andrew Carnegie. What is the name of this late 19th and early 20th century tycoon of the petroleum refining business, who for a time was the wealthiest man in the United States? The answer is John D. Rockefeller. Question number 2. After this event, a group of deities meets up and rediscovers a set of gold game pieces. What is this event that is preceded by the crowing of 3 roosters, and during which the sons of Muspel proceed to the field of Vigrid after breaking the bridge of Bifrost? All those words and terms and names are from Norse mythology. The answer is Ragnarok. Question number 3. The big, beautiful waterfalls that grace the rivers of what country were named after the pilot Jimmy Angel, who was one of the first aviators to fly over them, doing so in 1933, and who brought knowledge of their existence to the outside world? Jimmy Angel is the namesake of Angel Falls in Venezuela. Question number 4. During official times of mourning, half-staff is appropriate on land and is the preferred term used in the flag code and in presidential proclamations. What is the term preferred by maritime organizations and is more appropriate at sea? It's half-staff when you're on land and half-mast when you're at sea. Question number 5. This disease was historically treated with quinine. It is caused by the Plasmodium parasite, and Microsoft software founder Bill Gates has pledged over $1 billion to fight what mosquito-borne disease? The answer is malaria. Question number 6. The character is first introduced in A Story of the Jungle Book as a friend and helps Bagheera and Baloo rescue Mowgli from a group of monkeys. What is the name of this snake who is a protagonist in the original books and a secondary antagonist in the Disney films? In the Disney films, he's not the main bad guy, but he is a bad guy. His name is Kaa. Question number 7. The first Opium War was fought between this country and Great Britain from 1839 to 1842. In the Second Opium War from 1856 to 1860, what country, now weakened, fought both Great Britain and France? The answer is China. Question number 8. The Dutch took over the Moluccas in the 17th century and used them as the basis for their monopoly of a certain trade. Before they were called the Moluccas, they were appropriately known as the what Islands? The Dutch used them as their basis for the spice trade. They were called the Spice Islands. Question number 9. What lake in northeastern New York, northwestern Vermont, and southern Quebec was named after the French explorer who served as Commandant of New France in 1612 and Governor of Quebec in 1633? The lake that we're looking for is Lake Champlain. Question number 10. Many surnames were originally linked to a profession, such as Cooper to a barrel maker, Chandler to a maker of candles, and Thatcher to a roof. What surname was originally linked to the maker of arrows? The answer is Fletcher. Question number 11. During the ancient Roman period, parchment made from sheepskin became the standard writing surface and replaced what other long-used material that was made from a tall aquatic sedge? The tall aquatic sedge that they're talking about is the papyrus. Papyrus is the answer. Question number 12. This character, who first appeared in 1937, is the oldest of the official Disney princesses. What princess's movie was the first full-length cel animated film in history and includes songs such as Someday My Prince Will Come and Whistle While You Work? The answer is Snow White. Question number 13. As a hurricane sweeps across the Caribbean and heads for the North American mainland, it will be preceded by a sudden rise in sea level of 10 feet or more. What is the alliterative term that this phenomenon is known as? The answer is a storm surge. Question number 14. What was the last name of the Welsh buccaneer, probably the most famous of the adventurers who plundered Spain's Caribbean colonies during the late 17th century, who today has a popular rum named after him? If someone is asking you if you've got a little captain in you, they're talking about Captain Morgan. Morgan is the answer. Question number 15. What is the name of Egypt's second largest city and former capital that was founded in 332 BC and is currently Egypt's main port city and a center for manufacturing, cotton, and exports? The answer is Alexandria. The biggest is Cairo. Question number 16. Charles Perrault wrote histories or stories of past times, which included stories about the Sleeping Beauty, Puss in Boots, and Bluebeard. This work is better known by its subtitle. What is that subtitle? The subtitle seems to change a lot depending on which version, but the answer is The Tales of Mother Goose. But if you said anything about Mother Goose, I'll take it. Question number 17. After World War II, Churchill coined this two-word phrase for the separation of Western Europe and Soviet-influenced Eastern Europe, saying that one of what metal objects had descended across the continent? The metal object he was talking about was an iron curtain. Question number 18. If you're taking a plane ride in Canada and you're traveling east from the capital of Quebec to the capital of New Brunswick in as straight of a line as possible, which U.S. state's airspace will you most likely travel through? The state that sticks up between those two locations is the state of Maine. Question number 19. The name is said to be derived from the Latin inscription that was used on early French coins. What is the basic monetary unit of Switzerland and several other countries, including France, Belgium, and Luxembourg, until the introduction of the euro? The answer is the franc. And question 20. What is the title of the 1865 novel by Jules Verne that tells the story of the Baltimore Gun Club, a society of weapons enthusiasts, and their attempts to build an enormous space gun to launch 3 people to Earth's natural satellite? That novel's title has been shortened to From the Earth to the Moon. The long version is From the Earth to the Moon, a direct route in 97 hours and 20 minutes. And that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of ROADTRIpVIA. Thank you for all your positive comments and suggestions that we have on the channel. I read all the comments and I take everything you say into consideration. I don't always do anything about it, but I always take it into consideration. Subscribe to the channel if you like this type of trivia. Don't subscribe if you don't want to hear Jules Verne questions occasionally, because there will be some. Here's question 21 though, the tiebreaker for today. In the late 1990s and the early 2000s, one cyclist stood out in international competition. Although they were later taken back due to blood doping allegations, how many Tour de France titles did Lance Armstrong win? The answer is 7. Whichever player got closest to 7 is going to win the point. If it was a tie up to question 21 and that person got the question right, or whichever player got closest to 7, they're going to win the point and thereby win the whole game. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. Check back tomorrow for the last full-length trivia of the week. It'll be day number 258, and then we've got some pit stop trivia quizzes this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Thank you again for watching. See you tomorrow.